What I know for sure. How did we get here? What I know for sure. What I know for sure. Who's saying that? Who's here? What I know for sure. Sometimes I think that I'm a dreamer. I just had a past. I was daydreaming about being an elite and giving my speech. And then the news they say, "Oh, you're going to be nominated for president." You know my cuckoo-ness. Anyway, welcome. We're going to talk about I've been talking about for the past few weeks now about Atlanta, Georgia, life struggles, and I have a solution that I think should be you should hear me out. I'm going to say something that's going to make a lot of people upset. My people. I'm wearing blue lipstick and blue outfit because I'm into the blues today. We're talking about solution and getting Atlanta back on track. Now, what I'm about to say, I am an African American woman. I may not be born here, but once I got here, I know the difference. I was raised as an African American, Black American. Whichever one you want to call me, I am comfortable in that shoes. There are some race that think, oh, they're distinguished themselves. They're not black. They're not white. They're certain group. They want to be called a certain. I know about racism once I got here. I did a lot of research. And when I lived in Philadelphia, I know about racism, but it wasn't something that was on my mind every day. It wasn't something that we talked about every day. It wasn't nothing that I encounter every day. So when they found out that I was coming to Atlanta, I tell my friends, I'm just moving to Georgia. Are you going to go there? That's where the KKK is. Girl, you crazy. You crazy. You going to go down in the South and you got to run because you know them KKK. I didn't know anything about the KKK. I didn't know anything about the Confederate flag. I didn't even know there was another flag beside the American flag. So with all that's going on recently, since I've been here, about down in North Carolina or something, when they got rid of the Confederate flags and they're fighting to get rid of other parts in Georgia that has the Confederate statue. I just learned this coming to Georgia. Now, since I've been in Georgia, and we talked about Atlanta life struggle, and this is the reality. It is white people who helps me. You're going to find a little bit more friendlier than your own blacks in Atlanta. And that's the truth. Now, a lot of people are going to say, oh no, because they want it, because I'm talking about them now. I'm talking about myself. But that's what I experienced. I will tell you a story. They show me how to tell when there's a KKK or when there's, they don't have to have, the white garment on their face for you to pick up that they are. Maybe they have the flag on their trucks. Maybe they have the bandana. Maybe they have the shirt. I happen to meet I was going in the UPS. The guy had that outfit. He came out that kind of truck, and he held the door for me. And I said, "Whoa." And a matter of fact, we had a conversation. I wish I had the picture to show you. And I'm saying this man actually talked to a black woman. Didn't they say they were mean, they were nasty? Another incident. I was in Walmart, Super Walmart, because we don't have that. I don't shop at no Walmart in Philadelphia. I thought that the people that shop at Walmart was like, who shops at Walmart? Little did I know I was going to learn my lesson when I had bad thoughts about Walmart, this, and I end up in Georgia, and that's all the places I go to. One of the places I go to. Used to be cheap, but not anymore. So I didn't know anything about Walmart and Super Walmart and this and checkout counter and everything. So I was in the checkout counter trying to figure this thing out. The self-checker, that's what they call it, the self-checker. I'm trying to figure out where do I put the money, how to figure this thing out. Scanning it, and I didn't scan the water, and I had to go back and this, and the people just watching, and the line just get growing, and the people say, "Oh, come on now," you know how black folks. And it was one white lady and her husband. I just turned back, and they stepped up. They looked like bandana Confederate. They stepped up and helped me and kind of showed me where to put my dollars, where to put my credit card if I had it, and help me get out the line, because those blacks was going to murder me. Literally, verbally. And throughout my stay here in Atlanta, I've had some white people that have really stepped up and gave me a different impression about the situation, how blacks treat me opposed to how white treat me. Maybe they are tolerating me. Maybe they that's what they do. I don't get in middle. I'm not trying to be their friends. If they want to be friends, I will try to get into their head, see what's going on. But I'm not forcing myself on anybody. So I say that to tell you that I heard a lot about racism in Georgia, but I've never experienced it yet from the Caucasian. I experienced most of my racism from my black sisters and brother. Negative things that they say about you. Negative ways, hateful, the evilness, the money hungry, the always a game, always scamming. I don't know if that's particular to Atlanta, but that's how I felt. That's how I've been treated. Now you may say, why did you move to Atlanta? Why didn't you stay? I'll say this to you. You have a right to live wherever you want, but you have to make it safe for yourself. But I'm here just not to tell you, discourage you to come to Atlanta. I'm not telling you any negative. I'm not trying to lead you over the path. Say, don't come, get out. Don't come. If you're here, it's very hard to leave. Just make the best, but be safe. So I wanted to say this because I know there's going to be a lot of comments about white and black, but I haven't experienced it. I've been experiencing it from my sisters and brother. Traffic. Let's talk about the traffic. The traffic, as we know, is congestion. Recently we have snow, and I didn't even know that Atlanta had snow. I came in and I left my coat behind, and so when it was snowing and cold, I was so shocked. I thought it was hot Florida. That's what Georgia was about. So that was eye-opening. And when we had the major snow, a lot of people can't drive. I don't know if they give them their car, they just give them a license. I don't know. But the majority of people in these traffics, they can't drive. So there's a lot of traffic accidents. So you got to be very careful. I think I heard that it's the 8th state in the world with as far as the traffic is concerned, and I believe that Atlanta is working on it. So in my last video I talk about Kasim Reed, but now we have a new mayor, Keisha Lance Bottom. I'm very proud because she's a woman, and I think that hoping that we'll see changes in the future. That was a difficult race. Atlanta really came out for that, and kudos for that. And let's see what change is going to be. I ran across Passport King video. He's a YouTuber here on YouTube Street, and he was talking about moving from New York to Atlanta, and he showed you all the beautiful spots in Atlanta. It's good. Atlanta has some beautiful places like the Coca-Cola Center, like the aquarium. You need to visit that. Visit all the museum, the King Center. I need to go to the King Center. I was planning on going for Black History, but I'm going to get there eventually. You should go see all those beautiful sights. But when I was watching his video, I was wondering, and he got a lot of views for that, are we giving people false hope? Atlanta is not all what it seems to be. It's a facade. Looks good, doesn't mean it's good. The people are coming. They come with their baggage. They come with their negative thinking, and it's already cramped up, and it's going to explode. That's all I'm saying. It's going to explode with the traffic, and the traffic, or they're going to the suburb, and it's coming back into the suburb. The traffic. Now, there's good weather in Atlanta. I love the weather. We had snows, but I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't even say that's a negative. That was just a coincidence. I love the weather. I love it. Some people say you need to have a plan when you get here. I didn't have a plan. I just knew maybe because I know that I was a nurse, and for several times to be honest, I got jobs, but I kept turning them down because it wasn't the money I was used to. I couldn't see myself going to work every day and can't afford to pay my bills because they want to pay me less. But what I find out, the people with degrees, the people with the masters, the people with the PhD degree, they're not making any money. There's a lot of people in Atlanta with degrees, but they're not getting what they deserve. That's a negative for me. Being single in Atlanta, there is a lot of ladies here, yes, guys, that you can date. The only negative to that, and I've met quite a few guys here in Atlanta, and they look so good, and they look so crisp, and their body look oil, and they look so fit. But they weren't all they set out to be. They either they're looking for a woman who can support them, and I'm not into that. It's 50-50. And I'm saying that because in my nursing circle, I look at the ladies that I'm working with, half of them, and some of them end up telling me, no, my husband is not working. My husband is picking me up. And they're here 16 hours a day. Then they come back, and my husband is cheating. You need a job, honey. Stop it. I wrote the book. I was there 16 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. My uniform was stained and I couldn't afford nothing, but he was driving a nice looking car and he had the best clothes, best watch, best this, and then got what he want, left with a student loan and everything. So I wouldn't suggest that. They always want to come up. And this is where majority of the women here in Atlanta, they support their man. I am not going to elaborate. I am not going to elaborate about the gay community. We all know about it. This is San Francisco, little San Francisco. They don't bother me and I don't bother them. If you're into that and if you have an issue, that means you have an issue with yourself. You know where to go when you get here. So, I'm not about to give false hope. The police, as far as the police is concerned, whatever you do in your state, when you come to Georgia, you better be straight. That's what the police is. If you go to Gwinnett County, I know for sure, Gwinnett County, most of the cops here in Georgia, they have cars. And I see them because in the neighborhood, they have their cars. They bring their police car home. I've seen where a friend of mine told me that, and I'm only talking about Gwinnett right now, Gwinnett County cops. Like if you knew, they will just sit and watch, run your tags. They run your tags a lot, all the police, to make sure you up to par. But I think if you're more out of state, just change your license to where you're going to live immediately. Because they tend to watch you and watch every little move you make so they can get you. There is one place that I do not like to drive, and not because I'm a speeder, because I don't get any ticket, thank God for that, but Porterdale. That little place, it's just a little small town, little like this, probably like this. Driving there, the thing I don't like about them, if you're going, now I'm going out of Atlanta and I'm talking about this one little town. I end up driving there. I don't know how I end up there, but they have 10 miles an hour, and then go down further, you have 25 miles an hour, and then 15 miles an hour. That's a way to get people in trouble. You just can't keep the car. And then if you make one mistake, that cop's there to give you a ticket. So I don't know. Some people say the cops here, the money that they get in tickets help the police station. I don't know if that's a good thing. So maybe somebody in the comment can elaborate more. Somebody who's born and raised here can let us know about that. The schools in Atlanta. I'm a little disappointed about the school in Atlanta. How the children are forgotten. God, can't talk right now. Seem like nobody cares about the kids in Atlanta. And I think the only solution that I think is once they get to high school, they should have like a technical program. And I hope Keisha Lansbottom is listening, because Clara Barton has a very good program. She has a practical nursing program in high school. Give them something to strive for. If you give a child something to strive for, make them feel good. Maybe the guys can have mechanic class. They're getting a job right away instead of going out in the street and stealing cars or stick up or home invasion. They have money coming because they can work. How about a CNA school right there in high school? LPN school, practical nursing. When they get out, they do it, it's only 1 year. So in 11th grade, they're allowed to get into the program if they maintain their grades, if they come to school every day. That's what I think. Give them a chance. These kids need someone to believe them. Just don't give them a diploma. What they gonna do with that? Work at Burger King? Yes, but most of them don't want. So give them a career. That's what the school should do. Use the money to better these kids, to motivate them. Take some of these girls in high school need self-esteem class. The guys they don't have anybody at home that's teaching them the correct way. Help them. Also, another thing that I noticed, and it used to be in Philadelphia, the parents can take the practical nursing class in the evening, after the kids go home. They can take the class for a small fee they pay the school. And this will help the single mothers who are struggling in Atlanta, knowing that they can go to school and be a practical nurse. They go for about a year, 9 months. They can graduate, their daughter can graduate from high school, knowing that she is a practical nurse, she has a job. Some of these kids, like the one that end up pregnant in high school, give them a chance. Create these programs. I know the money can come from somewhere. Their volunteers will help about that. But don't use the money for things that, more books. They need books. But is the books helping them? Is it the correct books? Why is it that school in Cobbs County has a better chance of doing good than the students in Atlanta? It's got to be a solution. And my solution is have a technical program for them. Some people would start their careers. That's what I mean. Just start the wheels rolling. I think that would be a good idea. Tell me what you think. I want to take this time again to say thank you for stopping by. Please like, share. Tell me what you think. Tell me if you agree with me or disagree with me that having a technical program in schools in Atlanta or surrounding areas would give the kids a better chance, prevent some of the crimes that are going on. Share, like. Have a wonderful day. Thank you.